All right, we are finally live.
Yes,
Essence
we
as
are.
spiritual as fuck is
Yeah.
finally in the building. We've been talking about this, since 2023?
Yeah, no, literally 2023.
2 years in
That's
the
it.
making, and we are finally here. Everyone, I am Reiki S in the building, and we have
And
the lovely. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, girl. And hey, y'all, I'm Fatima. Fatima Sako. Nice to meet y'all.
Listen, tonight we're coming on. This is just a short intro of what is to come in the full episode. But you got the meme that I sent, right?
Yeah.
So it says couples who share unhealthy habits like smoking or eating junk food get closer than those with healthier routine, a study says. What's your thoughts?
So I'm not gonna lie. When you sent me that meme, I actually was triggered because I believe it's true. And I believe it's true because I feel like I was actually dealing with someone. I thought about how the most toxic relationship I was in
Mhm.
was my longest relationship, and my healthier relationships were my shorter relationships. So I was a little like, oh, are they calling me out through this meme?
No,
Um,
they're not calling you out. They're telling y'all motherfuckers is that y'all need balance in your life.
you
You
know,
gotta have some good with the bad.
yeah,
So please don't feel triggered. That is not I wanted a giggle. I wanted a kiki out of you. You talk about triggered. I'm like, well, damn.
yeah. I was like, you throwing subs? Like I'm like, oh
No,
my god.
no,
But no,
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I'm going to tell you why I wanted to bring this up for us to
yeah,
discuss tonight. Yes, you always link to someone in the physical, in the most craziest things. Vices are the key to some relationships because they become fun. You become the person you want to be when you're not under that substance. You're not under that vice. So to me, it's like the substances. Let's take the shroom trip era when everybody
yeah.
was tripping off of shrooms. Everybody wanted to go to the psychedelic highway. I just can't seem to fucking get there. But hey, another story for another day.
To
Not
each
for
his own.
nothing. Not for nothing. When you talk about connection, all of this is energetic, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell they got to do with the price of tea in China, especially spirituality? Because it's all spiritual. Whether you
Mhm.
know it or not, just like they say, when you drink alcohol, those are what? Spirits. So,
Yep.
what do you think when you're starting to include vices, spirits, sex, the most powerful energy that you can use? You about to fuck some shit up, or you gonna blow some shit up. It's one or the other, depending
Yep.
on where your frequency is, right? So,
Yeah.
the healthy people, you know why they don't last? Because they're fucking hungry. That's why they don't last.
Mhm.
Their relationships are shorter because everybody's in a relationship hangry trying to get the body fat off. No, eat a cheeseburger every now and again. And it can be beef. If you don't eat pork, eat a chicken burger. There's
Mm,
many options. You got so many options these days. You guys are eating all this lab grown plant based shit, so why not? So that's
okay.
my take on it. But Lord, I didn't want you to feel triggered. But your take, my
Yeah,
love.
no, so I definitely agree with you. Also, but I was joking about being triggered. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa, but
No.
yeah, but I also feel like it's just like a trauma bond. I don't know what it is about us as human beings, but for some reason, we connect through negativity. And I just feel like a lot of times those relationships last longer because it's just like this weird thing about us humans that we hold on to negative things. It kind of reminds me of how like celebrities, right?
Mhm.
They will get all of this positive praise. Like on their Instagram, you go on their Instagram, it's I love you, you're amazing, you're the best. I named my baby after you. All of this positive stuff on their comments,
Mhm.
and they will literally just make a video about the negative thing that someone says, like, oh, your last album sucked, that's why your mama died, blah blah blah. And out of all of these positive comments, they focus on the negative. And taking that back to the meme that you sent,
Mhm.
when I think about like healthy relationships versus toxic relationships, I just feel like it's just this weird trauma bond that humans have, if you're not healed, obviously,
Mhm.
that we have where we just hold on to the negative. And then also what you said, like you add all of these other vices like alcohol, drugs, sex. Like sex to me is the biggest thing because you
That's
always
really
hear
what keeps people hooked is the sex. But
exactly.
the thing about it is you don't recognize the succubus or incubus energy you probably done picked up in that as to what has you craving it. So now there's a next addiction.
Exactly. Because you always hear about, the bum who's,
Well,
able to jump from woman to woman and couch to couch because they can lay it down. So I feel like when you said sex, it was like the biggest thing that I'm like, that's what brings people together. So that meme, although triggering, I feel like it was 100% true. And it's sad. It just shows that like it's understandable why people chase the toxicity because in their minds they feel like healthy is boring. At least if you're not healed, that's your mindset. You just feel like I want that excitement, I want that rush instead of something that is gonna
now I'm not
really
going to hold you.
feel.
I'm a little biased with this article. The reason being,
Okay.
it's not realistic to think no relationship has any amount of toxicity in it.
Mm,
Whether you grow through it or not, that is your choice. That is your path. But every relationship has a tad bit of toxicity somewhere. So I would be remiss to say, hey, toxicity doesn't exist in relationships. Everybody has a toxic trait. Again, whose toxic trait do you want to deal with? And this is why I love shows like The Munsters, uh, The Flintstones, those archaic or especially like the mystical ones, Bewitched, stuff like that, because it's real life. But this is what's really going on over here. Like, I'm not going to act like this is not happening. Just like let's look at I Love Lucy.
yeah.
Every time Ricky came through that door, Lucy was on some bullshit, right? Every time.
Really what?
That shit could get fucking annoying, right or wrong. But he loved Lucy through that annoying shit. Probably that annoying shit turned him on. We don't fucking know. But at the same time, again, everybody has a toxic trait. So it's like, one, I'm going to go back to what you said when you was like, it's like when you have that certain level of toxicity that just seems so almost addictive. You got to look at it. It's like a safe place for your little kids that actually were possibly damaged when they were young, that probably went through some type of trauma. So you guys feel a familiarity with one another because of that toxicity that you experienced as a child. So that's just nothing but your inner child saying, hey, you're just like me. You're kind of fucked up in the inside too. I love you. Come here. You understand what I'm saying? That's really essentially what it is. Now, let's use the Tower of Babel. And I love using this example, especially for the Bible thumpers out there. The Tower of Babel, everybody spoke the same language. Everybody got along. It was a fucking Walgreens world, right? That's how the Bible predicted it. Now, one day everybody got up. Nobody knew what the fuck everybody was saying. Nobody got along at this point. Everybody was aggressive and everybody started just acting retarded. The lesson that a lot of people I got in the third grade from the Tower of Babel, and this is my story and I'm sticking to it. The lesson that I got from that was God switched everything around, quote unquote, because he wanted you to learn how to work with differences. He wanted you to have those hard conversations. He wanted you to be able to look at another perspective, another culture, and not, you guys were just one. Okay, so you woke the fuck up the next day and you don't speak the same language. You're still fucking one. Nothing changed from yesterday but your language. So, okay, you can't hear me cussing you out now. That's all the fuck that it is. Before, because we all spoke the same language, if I mumbled some shit under my breath, you could hear me. What fun was that? So God said, let me mix this shit up. Rick, remix.
We're done. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He remixed it on y'all and y'all lost the fucking lesson in that moment. The lesson was learn to work with others, learn to be compassionate and try to understand where a next one is coming from. Now, if you don't like the nanu that's coming through, tell that nigga go to the side. Just, you understand what I'm saying? Hand gestures work just the same as whatever language you're talking. It's universal. So at this point, it's about compromise. It's about sacrifice. It's about opening up and being compassionate. So again, this is why I'm a little biased with this, because at the same sense, it's like, yo, yes, I want a little fucking toxicity. Sometimes I want my man to say, sit your ass down some goddamn where and leave me the fuck alone. No problem. That turned me on.
It turned me on too. But this is so I'm not disagreeing with you.
Mm.
I'm not at all. Everything you said, I agree with you 100%. Because I always say that if you're in a relationship, you have to be okay with like understanding that that person is not you, and that person is not always going to see things 100% the same. So I 100% agree with you. Like that's the whole point in being in relationships. You're coming with your shit, I'm coming with my shit, and we figure out how to bring that shit together.
You
I
have
feel
your own Tower of Babel. I just want everybody to remember that we are
yeah,
all units. Like we may have talked the same language today. We might not talk that shit tomorrow, but it don't mean the love changed. And that's
yeah.
where people got lost in that story. And I don't understand how. All these years later, no one figured this shit out yet.
Because I always tell people I ain't shit. Like I know I may give angel, but I have my shit with me too.
Listen, Fatima is the runaway bride, y'all. Another story for another day.
It is another story for another day. That is actually my nickname amongst my friends, the runaway bride.
Runaway bride. She is. Yo, I can't wait. We're gonna make, you know what? We need to do like maybe a wine something. We can't do wine on Friday because Tasha K got that. But
Yeah,
we
we
can
gonna do
find something
something.
where we do like a transparent moment for the ladies and for the
Oh,
men out there that want to get in. But listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this snippet of the first episode. We will see you in February.
bye, y'all.